Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders have made headlines this offseason thanks to the arrival of quarterback Jaden Daniels, a signal caller they believe can finally bring stability to the most important position in football. But while Daniels gets most of the attention, and deservedly so, there's another player within the franchise quietly building a case as a foundational cornerstone. This player doesn't throw touchdowns or command a huddle, but his presence on the field could be just as pivotal to Washington's long-term success. That player is safety Quan Martin. While his name might not echo through national media outlets just yet, those within the building and those watching closely know just how special he might become. Mo Moton of Bleacher Report recently spotlighted Martin as a potential franchise pillar, someone flying completely under the radar but developing into one of the most important players on the team. And if his trajectory continues, Martin won't be a secret for much longer. Quan Martin's rise within the Commanders' defense has been nothing short of impressive. Drafted in the second round out of Illinois, he entered the league without the fanfare typically reserved for high-profile rookies. But from the start, Martin showed signs that he could be something special. His football IQ, physicality, and versatility allowed him to adapt quickly to the NFL level, and he earned meaningful snaps during his rookie season. Between year 1 and year 2, Martin made noticeable leaps in both production and responsibility. By the end of his sophomore campaign, he had solidified himself as a starting caliber safety with the kind of skill set that modern defenses covet. Now, entering year 3, Martin finds himself in a prime position, not only to elevate his game, but to secure a long-term future with the Commanders. As Mo Moton pointed out, the league has never been more willing to pay elite safeties, and Martin might be the next in line. Ron Rivera's tenure in Washington wasn't exactly littered with success stories, but the development of Quan Martin could end up being one of his most enduring legacies. While Rivera struggled to produce consistent results, he and his staff clearly saw something in Martin that's now coming to fruition. The young safety has taken that belief and turned it into action, playing with a confidence and command that belies his limited experience. His emergence is timely too. With the Commanders undergoing significant change at multiple levels, new ownership, new coaching staff, and a new quarterback, the need for stability on the defensive side of the ball is paramount. Martin offers just that. He's not only a steadying presence on the back end, but also a tone setter with his physical play and leadership qualities. Rivera might be gone, but his biggest success story could still be just getting started, and the Commanders would be wise to recognize and invest in that. One of the most intriguing aspects of Quan Martin's game is his versatility. In today's NFL, where offenses are more dynamic and complex than ever, having a defensive back who can move fluidly between roles is invaluable. Martin has shown he can play deep, cover the slot, and step up in the box against the run. That kind of flexibility gives defensive coordinators the freedom to be creative, and it makes Martin an every down player, regardless of the situation. He's the kind of athlete who can erase tight ends, blanket slot receivers, and still come downhill with authority. There just aren't many safeties who can do all that, and do it well. This makes Martin not just a starter, but a potential star. And with Washington's defense already filled with young talent at other levels, having someone like Martin lead in the secondary brings a balance that could elevate the entire unit. The building blocks are there, and Martin is one of the biggest. This offseason, the Commanders made a telling decision when they allowed safety Jeremy Chinn to walk in free agency. Chinn, a talented and versatile defender in his own right, joined the Las Vegas Raiders, leaving a notable gap in Washington's secondary. But that gap wasn't filled with a splashy free agent signing or a high draft pick. It was filled with confidence in Quan Martin. The decision speaks volumes about how highly the new front office and coaching staff regard Martin's potential. Rather than bringing in outside help, they're entrusting Martin with even greater responsibility. He's now the undisputed alpha in the safety room, and he'll be expected to lead by example on and off the field. This is a massive vote of confidence, and a clear sign that the Commanders believe he's ready to take that next step. With a larger role and more opportunities, Martin could be poised for a breakout season that puts the entire league on notice. While it may be a bit early to start talking contract extensions, it's not premature to consider what's at stake. For Quan Martin this season, with 1 year remaining after the 2025 campaign on his rookie deal, Martin will be extension eligible next offseason. And if he meets or exceeds expectations in 2025, there's every reason to believe general manager Adam Peters will move quickly to lock him up. Peters knows the value of homegrown talent, and rewarding a player like Martin not only secures a key piece of the defense, but also sends a message to the locker room. Pay comes with performance. Martin has earned a shot to prove he belongs among the NFL's best, and the Commanders have every incentive to reward that kind of growth. An early extension wouldn't just be about locking in talent. It will be a symbol of the franchise's new direction and commitment to building through development. The NFL has entered a new era when it comes to paying safeties, especially those capable of making game-changing plays. From Derwin James to Minkah Fitzpatrick, teams are no longer hesitant to hand out major contracts to elite defenders at the position. Quan Martin could be next in line if he continues on his current trajectory. He's already shown flashes of that ball-hawking potential with several big plays and crucial moments that shifted momentum. But 2025 is about turning flashes into consistency. If Martin can string together a season filled with takeaways, pass breakups, and lockdown coverage, there's no question the Commanders will view him as someone to invest in long term. Modern NFL demands dynamic playmakers on the back end of the defense, and Martin fits the mold perfectly. What he does this season could not only define his career, it could redefine how others around the league view him as well. Inside the Commanders' building, there's no secret about who Quan Martin is. Coaches see the way he studies film, teammates feel his presence on the field, and everyone respects the work he puts in daily. He's not loud or flashy off the field, but he lets his play speak volumes. Martin has the makeup of a true professional, someone who not only performs but elevates those around him. His leadership, though still developing, is beginning to shine, and that's a quality you can't teach. In a locker room filled with young players, having someone like Martin set the tone is critical. He's already become a trusted figure in the secondary, and with each passing week, his voice grows louder. Whether it's breaking down coverages, mentoring rookies, or stepping up in crunch time, Martin embodies what it means to be a cornerstone. That's a title that's earned, not given, and Martin is doing everything to claim it. The Commanders are entering a pivotal season. With a new regime in place and a franchise quarterback under center, expectations are shifting, but success won't be driven by offense alone. If Washington is going to turn the corner and contend, it'll need its defense to rise to the occasion, and that starts with players like Quan Martin. He's not just a cog in the machine, he's a catalyst. His ability to create turnovers, deliver big hits, and cover ground sideline to sideline makes him an indispensable part of the defensive strategy. Opposing offenses will need to account for him on every play, and if they don't, they'll pay the price. This is Martin's moment to seize. The spotlight might not be as bright as it is for Jaden Daniels, but the impact could be just as significant. When people look back on Washington's resurgence, they may very well point to Martin as one of the main reasons why. As we head into the 2025 season, it's time for the NFL world to wake up to what the Commanders already know. Quan Martin is the real deal. He's no longer just a promising young player. He's becoming a foundational piece of a franchise looking to build something lasting. The league may not be buzzing about him yet, but if he continues on this path, the noise will come. Analysts will start taking notice, fans will learn his name, and offenses will scheme around him. That's what happens when talent, work ethic, and opportunity align. Martin has everything in front of him, an expanded role, the support of the organization, and the chance to prove he belongs among the league's best safeties. The Commanders believe in him. Now it's time for everyone else to catch up. Quietly, methodically, and with laser focus, Quan Martin is becoming a star. And when the dust settles, he may be one of the best safeties in football. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. There's a storm brewing in Washington, and it's not about politics this time. Rumors are swirling around the NFL community that two of the biggest defensive stars on the Washington Commanders, Jonathan Allen and Chase Young, are no longer seeing eye to eye. Yes, you heard that right. According to sources close to the team, tensions have been escalating behind closed doors, and it's reached a boiling point where both players reportedly don't want to share the same locker room anymore. This could be more than just a clash of egos. It might be a sign that the entire defensive foundation in Washington is beginning to crack. Fans and insiders alike are starting to whisper that this Briga de Titan or Clash of Titans might force the front office to make a dramatic decision. Could the Commanders actually consider breaking up their once feared defensive front? At this point, nothing seems off the table. For those who have followed the Commanders closely, this doesn't come as a total shock. There have been subtle signs over the past 2 seasons that the chemistry on that defensive line wasn't what it used to be. Jonathan Allen, a proven leader on vocal presence on and off the field, has been visibly frustrated during games. On the other side, Chase Young, the former Defensive Rookie of the Year, has had a roller coaster of a career since his breakout debut. Injuries, inconsistency, and questions about his motor have created doubts among coaches and teammates. Some insiders suggest Allen has grown tired of waiting for Young to put it all together, and apparently Chase doesn't appreciate the constant side eye. This friction, once a quiet simmer, is reportedly now a full-blown fire that the coaching staff is struggling to contain. The two stars, once seen as cornerstones, are now drifting in opposite directions. Adding fuel to the fire is the leadership vacuum left by years of instability in the franchise. With changes at ownership, coaching, and front office position, players like Allen have taken on more responsibility than ever, and not everyone has responded well. Word is that Allen's no-nonsense approach in the locker room has rubbed some the wrong way, including Chase. Young, known for his charisma and swagger, is reportedly feeling constrained by the old-school mindset of veterans like Allen. This philosophical clash, discipline versus flair, might be at the heart of the conflict. And while disagreements are common in competitive sports, this one seems personal. Sources say that practices have become tense and that position meetings have been unusually quiet. Some teammates are reportedly choosing sides, and that's never a good sign. Could this internal Cold War disrupt Washington's entire 2025 season? The whispers say absolutely. But what's truly surprising is how public this feud might become. While neither Allen nor Young has spoken openly about their rift, body language during OTAs and minicamp has been under scrutiny. Reporters have noticed a lack of interaction between the two, even during drills that require communication. And in today's social media age, it doesn't take long for fans and analysts to read between the lines. Some have pointed to cryptic posts on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, where each player seems to be sending subtle messages. Chase recently posted a quote about fake loyalty, while Allen shared a story about leaders standing alone. Coincidence? Unlikely. These digital breadcrumbs are sparking endless debates among fans, podcasters, and YouTubers. Everyone's trying to figure out who's to blame, who stays, who goes, and most importantly, how much longer can the Commanders keep a lid on this? Let's not forget the contract implications. Jonathan Allen is under a big money deal that keeps him locked in for several more seasons. He's the established veteran, the face of the defense, and a Pro Bowl caliber player. Meanwhile, Chase Young's situation is far murkier. After Washington declined his 5th-year option, Young is entering the season with something to prove. His future with the team is hanging by a thread, and this latest drama might be the final straw. If Young was hoping to re-earn the trust of the front office, feuding with Allen might not be the best look. But then again, some see it differently. There are those in the building who reportedly believe that Allen is too controlling and that Young simply wants to be himself without walking on eggshells. If true, the Commanders are caught in a classic dilemma. Do you side with the proven veteran or gamble on the untapped potential of the younger star? And let's be real, trade rumors are inevitable at this point. Several NFL insiders have begun speculating that one of these players could be moved before the season starts. While Allen would fetch a premium return, the idea of trading such a foundational piece seems unlikely unless the situation becomes completely toxic. On the other hand, Young, with his sky-high ceiling and cheaper contract, could be an intriguing option for a team willing to bet on his bounce back. Teams like the Bears, Texans, and Falcons have been quietly mentioned in back channels as potential suitors. If the Commanders decide that this feud is unfixable, moving one of them could be the only way to restore balance. It's a dramatic possibility. One that would have seemed unthinkable just a year ago. But in today's NFL, loyalty comes second to locker room harmony and performance. This isn't just about two players not getting along. It's about the identity of a franchise at a crossroads. The Commanders have spent years trying to build a culture of accountability and toughness. Jonathan Allen embodies that ethos. He plays hard, speaks truthfully, and holds teammates to high standards. But Chase Young represents hope, excitement, and potential. He's the kind of player who, if unlocked, could change the trajectory of a defense overnight. The real issue is whether these two visions can coexist. Some insiders say it's already too late, that too much damage has been done behind closed doors. Others believe a strong locker room presence, or even intervention from ownership, could still mend fences. Either way, the Commanders are running out of time. Training camp is just around the corner, and every day they wait, the tension reportedly grows thicker. Fans are understandably divided. Social media is ablaze with arguments on both sides. Some diehards defend Allen's leadership and call Young overrated. Others believe Chase deserves more patience, blaming the coaching carousel for his stunted development. No matter which side you're on, it's clear this drama is casting a shadow over the team's offseason. Local sports talk radio has made it their top topic. National pundits are starting to take notice. The Commanders wanted this summer to be about a fresh start under their new regime, but instead, all eyes are locked on this growing feud. And make no mistake, this isn't just off-season noise. If unresolved, this situation has the potential to derail Washington's entire campaign before it even begins. And in a division as competitive as the NFC East, there's no margin for internal distractions. There's also a psychological toll to consider. Locker room feuds don't just affect the players involved. They ripple outward. Younger guys on the roster might be afraid to speak up or take sides. Coaches might be walking on eggshells, unsure of how to manage such strong personalities. Even game planning could suffer if players refuse to cooperate on stunts, shifts, or film sessions. The Commanders have invested heavily in their defensive front, and that unit was supposed to be the backbone of their playoff push. But with two of its stars allegedly at odds, the entire strategy might have to shift. Don't be surprised if coaches start dialing back shared reps in camp or splitting groups during drills. These small signs, often downplayed publicly, speak volumes behind the scenes. And if the friction turns to full-blown conflict during a game, that's when reputations and seasons can unravel in real time. So where do we go from here? Honestly, it's hard to say. The Commanders have kept a tight lid on internal affairs, refusing to confirm or deny anything. But in the world of NFL, media silence often speaks louder than words. The lack of denial from the front office is telling. It suggests that at the very least something is going on, even if they're not ready to admit it. Fans are watching closely, reporters are circling, and rival teams are undoubtedly monitoring the situation with interest. After all, disgruntled stars don't stay put for long in this league. If the Commanders can't resolve this feud before the preseason kicks off, a blockbuster trade could very well be on the horizon. One thing's for sure, the Chase Young and Jonathan Allen saga is far from over. And in a league driven by drama, this might just be the NFL's next great soap opera. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.